Yo ho, a pirate's life for me, and really bad eggs. Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker back with you. Today we'll be talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. But first let's start off with the drink. And this drink I imagine Jack Sparrow would be quite approving of. It's got a lot of rum in it, so it's called the Caribbean Rum Punch. And the Caribbean Rum Punch is Dark Rum, the Kraken, Dark Rum, coconut rum and spiced rum into a mixer with then just equal parts pineapple juice and orange juice. Shake it up and pour it into a glass with ice. So here we go. Let's do this. They're all 1 to 1 to 1. One. So, Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Wasn't a bad movie. Not at all. It's not a bad movie. Is it a retread of all the other Pirates movies? Yes, it is. Does that make it a bad movie? No, it doesn't make it a bad movie. It makes it kind of a stale movie, but not a bad movie. All right, let's get these two in there. I'm just gonna dump a bunch in. And then we're just gonna shake it up and as much as we can, because I filled it up a little bit too much. So let's give this a little bit of a shake. And there is your Caribbean Rum Punch. Deliciousness happening. I don't know. Let's see how it is. Pretty good. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales is directed by Joaquin Roning and Espen Sandberg, and once again stars Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow, once again on the haunted high seas of the Caribbean. This time, everybody's searching for the Trident of Poseidon, and whoever holds the Trident of Poseidon can control the seas and dispel any kind of curses that they may have befallen them on the seas of the Caribbean. All that stuff. It's just your typical Pirates MacGuffin. So, like I said before, it's a pretty, I don't want to say pretty good movie. It's not a bad movie. Let's go with that. It's not a bad movie, and there are some things I did like about it. Now, the good thing about Pirates 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales, is that it's actually really fun. It's probably my second favorite, tied with the second movie of the series. The first one's excellent, you can't beat it, but this one's actually pretty fun. And what I really liked about it is that the first, I'd say 40, 45 minutes of the movie doesn't have a whole lot to do with all that supernatural stuff that you see in the trailer, all the special effects stuff, all the kind of creepy ghosts and, cursed pirate stuff. It actually just has to do with pirates being pirates, doing swashbuckling, fun stuff. And that is actually the best part of the movie, because it just reminds you of why you like these pirates movies in the first place. It's just high seas, swords, and just fun stuff, and that's what I really liked about this. I mean, the first 10 minutes was like this really cool, fun bank robbery, and then they're trying to break Captain Jack out of a prison, and then they're trying to save him from being executed. Again, all stuff that you've seen in previous Pirates movies. That's why I say it's really a retread of the old ones. But if they do it in a fun way, I don't really have that much of a problem with that. And so the next thing I really liked about this was the directing. The directing was actually pretty inspired. You could really follow the action set pieces quite well, and the movement of the camera was pretty inventive. But there's one thing that they didn't get too right, and I think it's pretty important when it comes to like a pirates type movie, is sword fighting. The sword fighting was just all cut to shit. I mean, they just didn't let the actors just learn the sword fighting and do it, because that would make for an enjoyable experience. This movie, it was just cut after cut after cut, and you couldn't follow what was going on. I mean, just let us see the actors doing these things. It makes for a much better experience. So the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of positive points are the performances, and I'm not talking about Johnny Depp, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. What I'm talking about is Jeffrey Rush and Javier Bardem. Man, those two know how to inhabit a character, have fun with it, and just eat up the scenery, and they're just always wonderful and fun to watch, especially Jeffrey Rush in these movies. He is definitely the high point in almost all of these movies. I mean, Johnny Depp's great in like the first two, but Jeffrey Rush just always puts forth a solid performance, and he's always looks like he's having a good time, and he's just a bright star in this. And now Javier Bardem, man, he really jumped right into this. He was creepy, and he just ate it up. You could really tell that he was enjoying doing this, kind of like Bill Nye when he played Davy Jones. Even the newcomers, Brendan Thwaites and Kaya Scaldelario, that's not an easy name to say. I might be screwing it up, but I'm sorry if I did. Those two were actually pretty good. They were kind of the, I don't want to say discount, but I guess, replacements for Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, and they worked really well. They had kind of this relationship. Their chemistry was okay. It was a little bit forced, but I thought their acting was very good, and they were fun, compelling characters to watch. So let's talk about the negatives. And the negatives were, and I hate to do this, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has just checked out of this character, these movies. He just doesn't seem to care. He doesn't seem to put forth the effort, and maybe it's the way they wrote him. I'll try to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's the way they wrote him, because Jack Sparrow used to be the guy that was always 10 steps ahead of everybody else, and in this one he's kind of relegated as being the town drunk, or the comic relief, or just the general buffoon in the scene. And before he was actually dangerous. He was, as he said, the best pirate ever. But he proved it in the previous movies. In this one, he was just sort of bumbling around the scenery, not knowing what was going on half the time. And the other half the time, he would just accidentally get out of things, instead of seeming like he accidentally did it before, but it was all planned in his head. The other negative I'm going to say about this is that this movie really had some missed opportunities, and I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything, but there is a moment in this movie where they could have had a surprise entry of another character, but they decided to just gloss over some things, and if they would have done it the other way, it would have been for a very exciting and very surprising little moment, and it would also have the story make a little bit more sense. Also, the Black Pearl is back. Of course, Black Pearl's in all of these things, and that's what Captain Jack's always after, or keeping close to his heart, because that's his ship. He loves this ship, and the Black Pearl is supposed to be the fastest ship ever in the world and can outrun anything. And they make a point of having the Black Pearl have a moment, but then they don't do anything with it. Everything just catches up to them, and they don't say anything. It's never mentioned, and it just seemed kind of weird, because they did take time out of the story to give this ship its moment, but then do nothing with it. Look, this movie's, again, not bad. There's nothing bad about it, but it's just another kind of Pirates with a couple of good, really fun moments that I kind of wish they would have stuck to. Otherwise, it was sort of, forgettable. But also, I didn't hate it. It wasn't like I sat there like looking at my watch or almost falling asleep. I mean, it was entertaining. It was funny at times, but nothing remarkable. So I'm going to give this movie a solid 3 drinks out of 5. Not terrible. Fun little time at the movies. If you like the old Pirates movies, you're going to like this one. So there you go. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Let me know what your favorite Pirates movie is. Of course, it's probably going to be, for most people, the first one. But, I mean, you can go back to old school Pirates movies like Pirates of Penzance, or, Cutthroat Island, or something like that. Just, let me know that stuff. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe down here at the bottom. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a drink on me. Cheers, everybody.